Common provisions. One of the most significant concepts under the Convention is anticipatory breach of contract, which arises when, after the contract has been concluded, one party clearly indicates, either expressly or through its conduct, that it does not intend to perform its contractual obligations. Anticipatory breach may also occur where circumstances demonstrate that a party will be unable to perform a substantial part of its obligations when performance becomes due. Rather than requiring the innocent party to wait until actual breach occurs, the Convention permits immediate protective action to minimize potential commercial losses. Where anticipatory breach occurs, the innocent party is entitled to suspend its own contractual performance, provided that notice is given to the other party. However, if the defaulting party subsequently provides satisfactory assurance that it will fulfill its obligations, contractual performance must continue. In situations where the seller has already dispatched the goods but later believes that the buyer will fail to perform, the seller may exercise the right to stop delivery even where the buyer possesses documents of title. This mechanism protects the seller against potential non-payment while encouraging contractual performance whenever possible. The Convention also addresses installment contracts, where goods are delivered through multiple separate shipments under a single agreement. If one party commits a fundamental breach concerning a particular installment, the other party may declare that installment avoided. Furthermore, where the breach indicates that future installments will also be fundamentally affected, the entire contract may be avoided. These provisions balance flexibility with contractual stability by permitting termination only where continuing performance would no longer achieve the commercial purpose of the agreement. An essential remedy available to both parties is the right to recover damages resulting from contractual breach. Damages consist of compensation equal to the actual loss suffered, including any loss of profit arising directly from the breach. However, the Convention limits recoverable damages to losses that were reasonably foreseeable by the parties at the time the contract was concluded. This principle ensures that compensation remains proportionate while preventing unlimited liability for unexpected or highly remote consequences. Where the contract has been avoided and substitute transactions occur, additional rules apply. If the buyer purchases replacement goods or the seller resells the goods within a reasonable period and in a commercially reasonable manner, damages may include the difference between the original contract price and the substitute transaction price. Additional foreseeable losses may also be recovered where appropriate. These provisions aim to restore the injured party to the financial position that would have existed had the contract been properly performed. The Convention further imposes a duty to mitigate loss, requiring the injured party to take reasonable steps to minimize the damage resulting from breach. Examples include obtaining substitute goods or reselling rejected goods where commercially appropriate. Failure to mitigate may reduce the amount of recoverable damages by the extent to which losses could reasonably have been avoided. This principle encourages commercially responsible behavior and prevents unnecessary economic waste arising from contractual disputes. Where payment obligations are not satisfied, the Convention provides that the innocent party is entitled to interest on the outstanding amount. Interest becomes payable where either the contract price or any other monetary obligation remains unpaid, ensuring compensation for the time value of money without requiring proof of additional financial loss. The Convention also recognizes situations where non-performance results from unexpected impediments beyond a party's control. In such cases, liability may be excluded if the impediment could not reasonably have been anticipated or avoided. However, the affected party must notify the other party within a reasonable time of the occurrence of the impediment. This exemption balances contractual accountability with fairness where extraordinary events prevent performance despite reasonable efforts. Finally, the Convention regulates the effects of contract avoidance and the preservation of goods. Avoidance releases both parties from future contractual obligations while preserving rights relating to damages and dispute resolution. Where performance has been partially completed, restitution may be required so that each party returns benefits already received. In addition, both sellers and buyers may be required to take reasonable measures to preserve goods under their control, including storage or resale where necessary, until ownership and possession issues are resolved. These provisions protect the economic value of goods and minimize losses during contractual disputes, reinforcing the Convention's overall objective of promoting fairness and efficiency in international commercial transactions.